Welcome to another review video. Today I'm on a BMW R1250GS HP, and of course this bike has been given to me by the crew at Bud's BMW Motorrad in Oakville, the best Motorrad dealership in the world. Well, without further ado, let's get this thing started and let's go. So I'm in some heavy traffic, riding first gear, and the bike is very manageable. Some police action. And of course this bike is plenty powerful, as you can tell by that dangerous maneuvering. The clutch is nice and light. The brake lever is also fairly light, although the clutch seems lighter, so the bike feels like a gem in traffic. Both feet are firmly planted on the ground. Like they're flat, and my knees are bent. I was worried that this bike was going to be tall, and although it's not short by any means, but it's not as tall as what's out there. It really sounds nicely as well. It's a nice deep throaty typical twin sound, but it's got a little bit of a gurgle and a fireback. Now it's not loud, it's not like an explosion pop, but it's definitely audible. There she is. Beautiful, beautiful machine. At first, the gold rims was something I was not happy with, as it seemed to copy the styling of the Africa Twin, but it has since grown on me and it looks beautiful. And here's the exhaust. Let's listen. Okay, that's it. Okay, put in cruise, set, strange, cruise is not going on. It's because I'm in Enduro Pro mode. I just figured it out. So let's change Enduro to road. Now let's try it. Here we go. Enduro Pro mode, you cannot be in cruise control. I don't understand, because when you're in the desert or in the mud bath, why wouldn't you want to cruise? And look how beautiful this bike is. Check out the lights. Kind of see the power and the brightness of this light. Yeah. So this is where the weight of the bike becomes apparent. Once you're riding, you do not feel the weight, but when you're stationary, you definitely do feel it. The gearing on this bike is nice. This engine is definitely not as clunky as the previous generation engines were. The power is instant, and of course I'm only in road mode. In dynamic pro mode, you get a little bit extra oomph. The throttle response mapping is a little bit more aggressive, whereas in the other modes it is slightly more linear, slightly more subdued. This of course comes with the Quick Shift Assist Pro. This is a great feature for high performance applications. That is how you use the quick shifter. So the weight of this bike is about 543 pounds, but you do not feel it at all. The Boxer engine creates a nice low center of gravity. So as you're riding, this bike feels as nimble and as light as a 200-pound dirt bike. And of course, it's zippy as heck. So let's take a look at what this bike comes with. Well, it comes with a hookup to the GPS. I have a nav5, which is the older generation GPS, and it works seamlessly with this bike. So the GPS, of course, is controlled by this little control wheel over here. Right now I'm set up to control the TFT, but with the little tap to this button here, you can switch between the TFT and the GPS controls. The bike, of course, has cruise control, which for bikes in the adventure touring segment, it's a must. Push it to the right to activate it, you set it, and you're cruising. This bike, of course, comes with ABS. This has disengageable ABS for when you're off-road and you want to turn ABS off. And of course, the ABS is lean sensitive ABS, so now when you go into a corner, it'll continue on the curve while braking aggressively. It has traction control, so You're not going to have any issues with wheel spin if that's not what you want. And of course, it has the dynamic electronic suspension adjustment. This bike's suspension is constantly calculating, constantly working. And of course, if you put the bike into the Enduro Pro mode, the suspension, it will get a little bit softer and it'll raise for better ground clearance. Then you have the indicators and the horn. On this side we have heated grips, and this, unlike the F850GS, only has 3 settings: high, low, and off. And you got the ride modes. So currently I am in road, but this bike also comes with Dynamic Pro, Enduro Pro, and Rain. This bike is very comfortable. I'm in that typical adventure rider riding position. Legs are slightly bent. Foot pegs are fairly wide apart, which is good for balance. The seat is wide in the back, so you get plenty of support, but narrow in the front, so you can squeeze the tank if you're doing some off-roading and for better control and stability. The handlebar position is also really nice. It's nice and wide the way I like it. Everything is within the reach of your fingers, all the controls. I think the only negative on this bike is the price. That's up to you. You figure it out. If it's something you can't afford, or you feel like it's something that you can purchase and the price doesn't bother you, then you're good, because that is the only thing that I can think of that is negative. Back to the fun. On the highway, this bike is incredible. Look at this. I'm just below 4,000 RPM. You know, I'm going about 100, 110, and the engine is not even working. One of the cool things about this bike that I've noticed is it doesn't dive, doesn't dip under heavy braking. And that's because of that telelever suspension that it's got in the front. You brake heavy, but you don't dip, you don't dive. Yeah, now I'm on the highway, and wind buffeting wise, not getting too much. Little suspension test. I didn't even feel it. 0 to 100. It's got to be in a 3-second range. Brake test. Good braking. The GS, of course, is the bike that back in 1980 started this whole adventure segment. There was nothing like it at the time. And these guys, these German engineers said, hey, that's missing. Let's make it happen. And this bike since 1980 has been the leader in this adventure category. So let's pull off somewhere and do a quick little walk around. So here she is. A beautiful... How's it going?
What are you doing here?
I'm just filming, doing a little walk around the bike. So this fueler cap will only work if the bike is off. Then this opens up. Beautiful Hamilton. Third is very versatile. It'll get you up on the highway, up to highway speeds, and you can also thump around in traffic. As a matter of fact, I shall demonstrate. Just puttering along in third. Still in third. We're good. But let's pull off here and do a quick little walk around. So here she is, R1250GS HP. Now the GS stands for Gelände and Straße, which means Gelände is off-road and Straße is street. So essentially this is a dual purpose bike. This is BMW's HP package, so high performance, so there's a whole bunch of goodies on it. Now the HP normally comes with a rally seat. It doesn't have the center stand for better ground clearance. It's got a shorty windscreen for off-roading. Oh, and it also doesn't come with passenger pegs. But this bike has been upgraded to the HP with the passenger kit. So here's the bike. Of course, it has everything. This one comes with keyless ride, the gorgeous TFT, nice little windscreen operational knob just to raise it and lower it. And of course, this bike comes with heated grips, 3 settings, ride modes. It's got rain, road, enduro, and dynamic. Cruise control, which on these adventure bikes is a must. The menu controller and the control wheel for both the TFT display and the GPS. And of course this has the ABS Pro, which comes with cornering ABS, traction control, and the dynamic suspension adjustment. The engine has been upgraded from a 1200 to a 1250. And of course, the final drive, zero maintenance, worry-free, long-distance riding. Adjustable seat, you have two settings, high and low. I'm currently on high. It's about 34.5, and it's about 33.5 in the low setting, roughly. And of course, this has the beautiful, beautiful headlight. The LED headlight illuminates everything. There you go. And here we are at the end of my test ride. Oh man, I think this is the all-time best color scheme for the GS. And even the white wind deflectors and the nice white frame, it just gives it that little bit extra. Just beautiful. Thanks, bud.